Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have Lindsay Manfredi from the hard rock band Cold.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I just want to start out with Cold has a 7-city tour planned of city wineries. How did that come about?
Well, I don't make those decisions in the band. That would be between Scooter and our booking agent. I think that one of the owners for the City Winery was at our show just this past spring, and I kind of think that that's how he was like, "Hey, we want to have you come to our wineries," which I'm really excited about because we're we're gonna do the songs reimagined, and we're playing some deep cuts and some songs that I personally love, and a lot more songs off of our newest record, "The Things You Can't We Can't Stop." So I'm just pumped, and we're gonna have Swan accompanying us and doing piano, and we're doing some piano versions of some of the songs. So it's just gonna be really dope all around.
Now, did you start rehearsals for that yet?
We start pre-production around October 20th. So of course I'm going to be rehearsing every day. I just got the set list last night or the night before last night. So that's something that I'm always playing for a couple hours a day leading up to a tour. So that's going to all start probably next week or the week after. It's been a big week with the book launch, so I'm saying so a lot. So
Okay, so like when they send you the set list and stuff, and then you go in to rehearse, is there sometimes some songs get pulled and then you add other songs for something like this reimagined? I could see that happening. Is that what usually happens?
yes, we've actually discussed like the couple songs that we like, oh, we might pull this or that, but we're just gonna go in and see how it feels. We're not playing with a click track on this tour. We're vibing it out, and that's not typical. It's just gonna be cool. We're gonna have a really nice time. And it's not gonna be your typical concert environment either because you're gonna be sitting at a table.
Okay. Now, is there any surprises we could expect from this? What should we expect from the this reimagined tour?
You will just have to wait and see. And we're getting ready to announce low ticket sales on quite a few of these. So this is a tour that I don't know if we're ever going to do something like this again. If you're in the area, you're definitely going to want to get tickets. And we're also doing a special VIP, and we're doing it on our bus. So we're going to invite you into our home essentially. And we did a couple on the last tour on the bus, and it's so much fun because a lot of people haven't been on a tour bus, and I just love it. I love meeting the fans and sitting down with them, and the Cold Army is so great. So it's worth it. And we're doing a special poster for the VIPs, and you get cool swag. So get your VIPs.
Is there any like did you guys ever think about maybe doing like an album for this, like record live for this city winery tour?
I we might be doing some of that. Yes, we are. I think we're going to be doing some of that has been thrown around. And because I also we're going to get some film as well.
Um, and your opening band for this is Edison. I've never heard of them. What can I expect?
Edison is a real. They're. I don't really know how to It's easy to listen to. It's rock and it's easy to listen to. They're super cool guys, and we're all happy to have them out. I think that Edison may have toured with Cold back before I was in Cold. I know that Scooter has long-term ties with them, but it's a perfect mix for this tour.
Okay. And what are the future plans for Cold after this tour? Do you plan on like working on an album or
Yes, we are working on new music now. It's a matter of when we're going to actually be able to get into the studio to record it. But we are also already routing our tour for the spring. So we're back out on the road in the spring. So any cities, because people were bummed out that we weren't coming to their city. But again, it was a small city winery tour. So we weren't coming to the West Coast or Pacific Northwest. It was just kind of Midwest and East Coast. However, of course, we'll be everywhere. It'll be a couple months of touring in the spring.
okay. Uh Lindsay, you just released your second book, The Girl Who Cried Love. What made you decide to write this book?
Well, I kind of talk about it a little bit in the afterword that I knew I was going to write this book back in 2006. I just didn't know. I didn't know what it was going to look like or how it was going to be, and I knew it was going to be about my my journey and the paths that my love life has taken me. But it now was the time to do it. I've spent the last year working on it. I'd started writing it a couple of years ago, but there's always the starting of a project, and then it kind of falls to the back burner, and then you get back on it and you get the inspiration to do it again. And I just last year when I got home from tour in 2024, I started working on it as soon as I got back from tour. And I worked on it all like that summer, but then I really, really focused on it when I decided to get sober this year. And like that was my main mission. We had a double album tour coming up, and I wanted to get the book done. And so I just really focused. And it was all very relevant stuff that I was going through as well that was pretty important for this story.
Okay. Um what I noticed most was it was like raw, you were like vulnerable and you weren't holding anything back in this book.
No, I did not hold anything back. I mean, I think I may have held a couple things. I kept a couple things to myself, but I really wanted a story. I I listen to stories of people, and people will be like, "Oh, well, we had relationship issues, or there were drug addictions, and there was this, and there was that." And every single time I hear something like that, my ears kind of perk out because I'm like, "Well, what were the issues? What were the addictions? I want to know to see if it's even a relatable situation." So I wanted to write a book that gave you the details of the in and out and the major drama issues and the major in both sides of the story. as well. I felt like that was important for someone to hear so they can actually be like, that's me. Or am I being gaslit? Or is this relatable? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Um, I fit. I finished this book in one day. Whenever I got it, I couldn't put it down, and I think it's because I know you. And then it felt like I was taking the journey along with you because it like coincided with tours, and we would talk on those tours.
You never know what someone's going through, which is kind of funny because I went through a lot of shit over the last few years.
Yeah, it seemed like when I was reading it, I was like red flag after red flag, and I'm like, what is telling you in your mind and convincing you like to stay, to stick around, you know?
I think, and my mother has always said that I'm just such a loyal person and I give people chances because I know how many chances have been given to me when I've fucked up. And you stay for the hope. You stay for, hoping that the pain was worth it. And you don't want to fail. And even, and I share this in the book. I remember my best friend Trisha asking like, why don't you leave? And I answered her immediately because I knew, because I was afraid that he would suddenly heal and then give everything that I had been wanting and looking for to somebody else. And I didn't think that that was fair. I obviously hadn't grown up as much as I have now. And I'm like really starting to see so many things. But that was it. And I feel like everyone who's been in a relationship that they put the time and the effort in to goes through if it's not going right.
In the book, you talk about spirituality and quantum physics. When did you like start digging in and researching that?
I started digging into spirituality, I want to say back in 2007 or 8, when I saw, I was in college and this girl in one of my classes brought in what the movie What the Bleep Do We Know? And that was, it really radiated with me because I had grown up in such a religious home. And that's what opened my mind to quantum physics a bit. And then I saw The Secret, and I had a coaching, I was a, in a coaching group with my dear friend Desiree Garcia, who coached me for years. And I still call her up and ask her for advice sometimes. But she got us all into meditation. So all of that was in 2008, 2009. And I had an old boss that put me through this program called Beyond Your Best. And it was a, 2 weekend situation where you're faced with a lot of shit. And I don't remember what the actual program is, but it's very spiritual and law of attraction. But then I read Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I was like a whole different person, like really focused on all of his work.
And what was some of the stuff that you learned that you use in your life today?
Well, I meditate every single day. I journal. I really spend time daydreaming and envisioning what I actually want and what I see and putting myself there, because I am of the Dr. Wayne Dyer school that when you believe it, you'll see it. I believe in I believe we can accomplish anything. Anybody can accomplish anything. We are such powerful beings, and so many people do not understand that concept. They want to speak in terms of like, well, reality. Well, I don't, fuck reality. You know, I want to be as delusional as I possibly can.
Yeah. Do you feel like writing this book gives you like closure from the past?
Yes, I absolutely feel like when I turned this into my publisher on 7/7, it was like me lighting a match, throwing it, and walking away. Even though I'm talking about it and I kind of have to relive it a little bit. But yes, it was very much closure for me because I was so stuck. I was so stuck in this belief that I had to earn my worth and that I had to earn love and that I had to prove myself worthy. And I'm done with that because I truly know who I am. And I've eliminated a lot of the bullshit in my life that caused some problems. But it wasn't just me. It wasn't just my shit. And that takes a lot. But through all of the time I spent, because I literally locked myself in for pretty much the last 9 months, except for being on tour, and have just spent all this time with myself.
Like with writing this book, what have you learned about yourself?
I've learned that I am totally fine being alone. Like, I'm totally fine being single. I don't have to be in a relationship to be happy. I don't have to be in a relationship to do all the fun things that I want to do. Like, I'm an independent person. And of course, I do want to meet my person. That would be amazing to to have that connection, but I also know my worth and I know the red flags and I know what I won't put up with anymore, and I feel strong enough to stand in my power to say no or to call somebody out on their bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Like some of those stories, it felt like you gave away all your power.
I did. And nobody asked me to. Like, that was me being like, pick me, like I'm great. Like, that was all my own shit that stemmed from childhood, and that's why I took you on the journey from childhood to where I was. And these are all just like new things. I feel like we evolve every single day. We learn things every single day, and just standing in our power is such an important thing.
Yeah. Um, what have you learned about, say, looking for a future boyfriend? Is there like certain things they have to meet before you even start dating them?
Oh God, I'm first off, I'm not even looking anymore. I'm not dating. I don't I have so much that I want to accomplish with my own personal goals, physically, mentally, spiritually, professionally, that I'm taking the time for me now. And that's one of the things that at the beginning of the year when I was hungover on New Year's Day and I was just a mess because I had just been broken up with again the day after Christmas with the same person that just was going on and on and on. And I just decided, well, if I can give myself 1 year to just focus on me, not drink, not do drugs, not do just focus and see what happens. That was important to me. And I knew that I wanted to eliminate alcohol completely because I wanted to get the book done. And I just wanted to give myself a chance to live up to my potential, essentially. So, but yes, I will definitely have some serious conversations about values and future. I'm not going to be like, "Oh, let's go with the flow." Go fuck yourself. Like I'm going to be more intentional with my dating instead of giving my heart away. So I'm not necessarily guarded. I'm just going to be smart about it.
Like, I feel like I've been doing that for like the last 6 years. I've been working on myself, and a lot of people don't put in the time or work on themselves. Even after a relationship, like you just can't go relationship to relationship without healing and fixing yourself. You know,
Yeah, but that's what people do. And that's what I'm hoping, like with the book, to open up that topic of conversation. I've had a client recently who we talked about this. She's never been alone and she's getting ready to go through a divorce and never, she's just jumped from one relationship to another relationship to being married. And it, people don't think about taking time for themselves, or people are afraid of loneliness or afraid, whatever fears people have. I mean, people are afraid of things for all sorts of different reasons. There's so many traumas that people endure and go through. So I don't know what their reasoning is, but it would be a beautiful thing if more people would take the time.
what do you hope people will take away from reading your book?
Well, my biggest hope is that they take away that they're not alone. Everyone struggles with these things, and that they have the power within themselves and the tools to overcome anything. But I really want people to really start looking inward and getting to know who they are and what makes them happy and all the things that most people don't even consider or think about.
Where can people buy your books?
My books are on Amazon, but I mean everywhere books are sold. It's Barnes and Noble, Amazon. My If you want a signed copy, you can get them from lindsaymanfredi.com. It's up there. And of course, if you come to a show, I'll be selling them. But the ebook is currently on sale for 99 cents. The only thing I just ask that you give it a review if you get it from Amazon. It's very important, especially for indie artists, to get reviews and get input, which so far the feedback has really been amazing. I was in UPS parking lot today and got an email or a notification on what someone said, and I just started bawling. Like I'm in my car crying. I just out of gratitude that it helped someone that much. So that's good. That's all I want to hear. I just want the feedback on. Ooh, it's 222. Make a wish. I just want to hear the feedback that it's helping someone, because that's all that really matters.
Um, what's some of your future goals for you?
I have I want to start speaking about this stuff on in a bigger audience platform. I really would like to be on Lewis Howell's podcast. I've got some pretty big dreams. I'd like to, but of course, I'm always I'm always going to be in cold, so nobody has to worry about Lindsay leaving cold for a different career. That's never going to happen. Cold is always my heart, and but around, like when we're not touring, I want to be helping women. I'm getting on a conference call next week with somebody in Northern California. I'd like to do a quarterly retreat for women, and where they come in for a weekend and we nail out everything on their to-do list that they have been avoiding, and make an action plan, and to just have it be a very inspirational weekend where by the end of it, like, there's meditation, there's action plans, there's just community things, music, dancing. So that's something that's going to be in the works for 2026.
Where can we find out more about Cold and Lindsay Manfredi?
Well, you can always find out more about me on lindsaymanfredi.com, but also, of course, follow me on Instagram at Lindsay Manfredi. And Cold, we're at Cold Music on Instagram, and of course Cold on Facebook, and we're always on there. we're all very active on social media, so it's not hard to get a hold of us. And of course, you can go to coldarmy.com for cold news.
Okay. Um, that's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Okay. Well, thanks for having me. I don't think so. Not off the top of my head. You are worthy. You don't have to earn your worth. You don't have to prove that you're worthy. You can just live your best life and let your freak flag fly.